As peace talks stall again in Iran, Democratic lawmakers are pressing the defense secretary on his management of the war. In an open letter, 11 senators have called on the secretary to explain his decision to cut programs that could have prevented civilian casualties in the region. The senators cite 4 particular incidents where the U.S. military has been accused of civilian harm, including a missile strike on an elementary school that killed 175 people. Joining us, Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen. He sits on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. Senator, thank you very much. Have you gotten a response from Secretary Hegseth?
Katie, no response yet. And the reason we wrote this letter was because Secretary Hegseth has shown a complete disregard for civilian harm and deaths in the war with Iran. We've lost 13 American service members, but we've also seen about 1,700 civilians killed in Iran. And that happened at the same time that Pete Hegseth was literally dismantling the systems that we've had in place at the Defense Department and in regional commands to try to reduce the harm done to innocent civilians. He called the rules of engagement stupid. Those rules of engagement are designed to prevent the deaths of innocent civilians.
What will your vote be on to give more money to the Pentagon? There's not only a supplemental, but there is an increased Pentagon budget for next year.
Oh, Katie, I'm against providing one more dime for this illegal war, which is making us less safe, which is making us worse off every day. And Donald Trump, who, of course, promised during his campaign that he would keep us out of wars and focus on bringing down prices, is doing just the opposite. He started a war along with Prime Minister Netanyahu, and prices are going up and people are dying. And so we should stop this war right now. That's best for the people of the United States. That's also the best thing we can do for our military men and women.
Secretary Hegseth today also announced that he was going to stop the mandatory vaccine program for members of the military. Why would he do that, and what do you think of it?
Well, that will just make more of our service members more likely to get sick. I mean, vaccines are provided to deal with communicable diseases, right? Diseases that can spread among others. So it's not just a personal choice of somebody, not getting certain vaccines. It also has an impact on others. So what Pete Hegseth is doing is putting the health of more of our men and women at risk every day here in the United States, as well, of course, as those overseas. It's another example of a Secretary of State who does not have the interests of the country first.
What do you make of the reporting that's out there that there's a rift between Secretary Hegseth and the Army Secretary Dan Driscoll? This is over the firing of another military officer. Dan Driscoll showed up at that officer's home to support him at the time. And the firing happened, by the way, while Driscoll was on vacation. From the appearance of it, is there a rift between these two men? And if there is that a big deal? Is it significant?
Katie, I don't know all the details there, but what I do know is this. I mean, there's a lot of displeasure among folks at the Pentagon, including senior military officers, about decisions that Pete Hegseth is making. I mean, he is creating chaos, not just overseas, but also within the Pentagon. I mean, on this issue that Senator Warren and I and others wrote to him about, which was his dismantling of systems we have to prevent civilian harm, we know for a fact that that was opposed by senior military officers, including members of the chiefs of staff. In other words, senior military folks understand that it's not only the right thing to do, but it's in our interests to reduce civilian harm during war. And they opposed Pete Hegseth's decision to literally cut by 90% the folks who were involved in trying to prevent innocent civilians from being killed. So what we know, Katie, is that there's a lot of unrest and displeasure with the Secretary of Defense. He should be fired. I mean, he was unqualified from the beginning, but he should absolutely be fired for the good of our country.
I guess just what does it say to you about his theory of war and the rules of engagement and what is just and what is not? And do you think that his faith is maybe muddying it up for him?
Well, it's obviously a very strange interpretation of his Christian faith to be talking about, you know, the destruction of civilizations, the bombing of power plants and bridges, which, of course, is a threat to commit massive war crimes. And the President of the United States is doing exactly that. And, of course, we saw the President of the United States literally attacking Pope Leo simply for calling for peace. And now we have the President of the United States just days ago, you know, putting himself forward in the image of Christ. So, look, between Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth, we're going through a very dangerous time. Pete Hegseth wants to make this all about a religious war, while the Pope and other faith leaders are calling for peace.